Hi everyone, welcome to week 2 of the HOSASS campaign, where we will now look at ways in which we can lift safely. One of the first things is to ensure that if you're part of the lifting team, you've attended the morning lifting brief before you start and know that the required checks have been completed. This could include your safe starts, lift plans and permits to lifts, and it also should cover any deliveries that are due in that day. You also need to ensure you have your exclusion zones in place before starting any lift. Once we have all our arrangements in place, we can then look at lifting planned loads safely, and this can be done using various methods depending on the type of load being lifted. For further information on the best method on how to lift loads, it can be found in our Essential Standards lifting handbook. Once we have the load secured by the most appropriate method, we then need to utilise taglines and push sticks. Once the tagline is attached to the load, the slinger signaller must step away from the load, and those not required in the lift area must be asked to leave. The principle applies to any lifting activity, be it a crane, excavator or lorry loader. A test lift will be undertaken, and once the team are happy with the security of the load will be moved to its required position.
Loads should never be lifted over persons. A whistle or a horn should always be used to maintain safety and alert the operatives below.
Now that the load is away, we'd like to have a pause for a few minutes or so and decide on what things we should have in place to safely land the load. Things we need to have in place can include an exclusion zone, clear route to the exclusion zone, bearers in place to land the load if required, push sticks to grab the tagline, the right people in place to take the load, and those not required in the landing area removed.
When the load is being loaded, it's important to ensure that the previous points around the exclusion zones and non-essential personnel are all complied with. If manual control, i.e. hands on the load, is required to say land vessels or columns over bolts or fixing points, then this must be detailed and recorded in the RAMs, lift plans and permits to lift prior to starting. The plant operator gives confirmation that the isolator is applied. The slinger signaller can approach the area and attach or detach the slings. The slinger signaller gives confirmation that the plant operator can initiate the lift.
Our next briefings to support this campaign will include measures on how to keep safe whilst undertake lifting operations on site. Week 3 is about how and when we should put our hands on a load, so we will look at the hands-on decision tree. Week 4 is about how we intervene appropriately in a safe manner and calm manner when an unsafe lifting practice is observed. We also encourage you to record what you see on site, either good or bad, using the active check system. You can either use the Improve It cards or the QR codes, which should be displayed across site where possible. If you could, always use the hashtag HOSASS. Thanks for taking part in your attendance in the HOSASS campaign we've been running. If you've got any queries or questions, just contact one of your member of your site team. Thank you.